Hello, everybody, and welcome to 3 Years AMA. It is so nice to have you here. Anita Mlakar is my name. I am the host of this AMA, and we are here every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central European Time. I hope you're doing fine, and I can see that some of you are already with us. So please go ahead and write in the comment, how are you today, and where are you, so that we will look at it a little later. So what we are doing, this is something that I'm going to tell you at the beginning, but first let me invite you to be a part of our channels. We are having great discussions and debates on our channels, on Discord, on YouTube. Of course, here you can follow us and be a part of it, subscribe to it. Then you have Telegram and Twitter, of course. And if you have any question, you can just ask it there. Sandi, the CEO of 3Years, there a lot of times, and also other administrators, and they will, of course, help you. So do that, be a part of our communities, participate, or invite friends if you feel that someone should know more about our project. And I will introduce the project a little bit and what we are doing at 3Air. So 3Air is a blockchain-based telecom platform focused on bringing broadband internet, digital TV, and telephone to millions of Africans. 3Air's mission is to connect Africa's unconnected population to the rest of the world through blockchain-based ultra-fast wireless broadband access. If you are unconnected, you are in a way underpowered. So we are trying to give people internet connection to empower them. And at the same time, we are trying to educate people. And we are doing that with two technologies, K3 One Mile Solution and 3Air Internet. We also create your digital bank account, giving you a wallet, custodial or non-custodial. We are providing financial services. We have fiat onboarding and offboarding ramp, and peer-to-peer cash crypto onboarding, DeFi, and so on and so on. We also have outside partners that will provide additional digital revenue streams. And once we put you through all these steps, you are connected, you are banked, you are empowered. So we are glad to have you here. Sandi Bittens, CEO of 3Air, is of course also with us. Sandi, hello.
Hi, Anita. Hi, everyone.
Hey, Sandi. Are you excited about today's AMA?
Of course I am. I am excited about every AMA.
Oh, really?
Aren't you?
I am. I'm always like I'm on some speed or something, you know. I'm joking. I'm
you're,
joking.
you're hardcore.
Yeah. Sandi, how are you? Are you good? Is everything okay?
Yeah, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, I have my some personal things I need to take care of now. The date is closing, so it's a bit stress on that part. But in regards to 3R, things are right now going well. There's of course the downtrend that's still persistent, kind of. It looks like it's gonna turn, but then it drops again, immediately. So yeah, we're following that really closely. We're also right now in the middle of publishing our NFT marketplace and the token claim app. So I think this will be done during our AMA, actually. So, and we are a bit late on that one. We promised it on Monday evening, but it's gonna be on Wednesday evening. It was mostly because we needed to go through all we wanted to go through all of the tokens that for each token holder manually, to see that everything is really as it should be. So hopefully there are no errors. We don't want to make any errors in regards to people being able to claim their tokens. And once we put it on chain, it's unchangeable. So yeah, we need to be really sure.
Okay. And today, Sandy, we're going to be a little bit more technical. We're always, there's always something new for me every time, but this time it's going to be a special one, right?
Yeah, we're going a bit more into deploying in a new country. So let's see. We have a specialist today in our AMA that can answer some questions that have been also asked before in the community. I'm sure they want to know a bit more how this will work, what the rollout plans are, and what it actually takes.
Yes, we have made the announcement, so let's just invite our special guest. Dejan Skok is with us. Welcome, Dejan, and we are really happy to have you here. Hey,
Hello, guys.
meeting you in person, or let's say online.
It's really
Finally.
nice. It's really nice to be here. Thank you for your invitation.
Of course, thank you. Now, Dan, this is your title, a network architect and rollout manager. What is someone with that title doing, actually? Could you explain?
I will try to be very short. It is a lot of things to be done, but most important things is to plan the whole operation. So to plan the whole telecom technically. So this means that everything needs to be planned from, let me say, first switch to the last cable modem that it will be connected at the customer site and everything in between.
This is,
And yes,
I'm just saying that this is amazing because this is, like new area for me.
yes, it is pretty much amazing, although it's not easy task to do because at the end, this is Africa, and we are implementing the new infrastructures. And what needs to be done takes about, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 months for one country, for one city to be ready to roll out.
Okay. Then how well do you know Africa? How many times or in what way were you there?
Basically, I was many times in Africa, mostly in Liberia, Sierra Leone, when we were deploying the first triple play ISPs. And uh, I need to say that those memories and those, what should I say, um,
Impressions. Yeah.
impressions and experience that I got there, it's really, really new for me. And I need to say that it's really nice there. I love it.
Really? And people are
Yes, I
also
do.
nice, right?
People are nice, people are happy. It's a new world for me, and I can't wait to deploy new countries, new worlds, to explore new people, to meet them. And yes, it will be really good when we will start Ethiopia and Congo,
But
DR
it is
Congo.
but it is probably different from Slovenia, right?
Yes. As I said, it's a totally new world, different culture, and it's amazing to work with the people there.
Great. Sandi, you should confirm that, yeah, because you have also some experience in Africa and
I've been a few times. I didn't work so much with the people there, but I interacted with them, and it is different, absolutely. And Yeah, I've been traveling the world for some time and been to a few countries. Um, what I find different there is their perception of time. It's just nothing is on time. I don't know, Dayan, if you have the same experience as me, but time doesn't mean anything there. You set up an hour where you want to meet, and they'll probably show up 2 hours later if you're lucky, or maybe even the next day, right? So it's like it's fluctuating, this really.
Yes, I can totally confirm that. But on the other side, I feel that the people are very curious. They want to know how things are done, and they are around you and asking you questions. How did you do that? How can this be done? And stuff like this. So I need to say that they're curious, and I love that because I really love to pass my knowledge to other technicians, to other people. So, because there's a 20, 25 years of experience in IT, and I don't want to keep it for myself.
mm,
Yeah, they are more open, and they're not afraid to ask questions. Now,
True.
when you're somewhere in Europe, people just, they're kind of afraid to ask questions. They
Yeah.
they don't want to approach you and so on. It's different. It's different there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
It's really nice to hear that because a part of what we are doing is also educating people. And in a way, we'll be doing that today too. So, yeah, people who want to know more, people who ask questions are always welcome. And so are you. All of you who are with us today, you are free to ask questions because today we have the man, Dejan, here, and he has a lot of answers to the questions that are being asked also in our communities. I have questions too, Dejan, of course.
Yes.
That's why we are on this AMA. And let's just say, let's start from the beginning. What I would like to know, maybe for starters, is from your point of view, how is Africa connected to the world?
Hmm. This is interesting question. I was wondering like 10 years ago also the same question, and basically the Africa is connected to the rest of the world via submarine cables. Uh, we have west coast of Africa and east coast of Africa, and there are about 8 submarine cables now deployed, managed by different companies, different shareholders, and those cables are going from country to country in, let me say, west coast of Africa, and they are ending mostly in Portugal and going upwards to London. On the east coast, you have also like 5, 6 submarine cables. I need to mention that all those cables are optical cables, and those cables on the east coast of Africa are ending in Marseille, and they're again going from country to country. And if you want to connect Africa to the rest of the world, you need to find the landing station in the coastline of Africa in the specific country. Then you need to find the correct cable that is connected, let me say, to the Portugal or to London, so that you're able to connect also to your upstream provider. So it's quite a difficult task because there is a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails to get to the right person that you can talk to, and then you can start negotiating the demarcation points, where to connect, how to connect, which protocols to choose, and stuff like this.
Yes, it's from the beginning, right?
Yes, it's from the beginning. So this is almost the first step that the board is asking me, then do we have a connection in this country? Yes, probably we have, but I need to figure it out how and where and
Amazing, amazing.
yeah.
We have already some questions coming in, but we will go through our conversation. But yes, like Dee said, look, here is a question. Take us through the beginning, starting from no infrastructure to the deployment. And this is what we will do today in a way. So maybe my next question regarding that. So you are building, you're connecting, and how do you connect newly built ISP to outside world, let's say?
Okay, as I already said, the first thing that we need to figure it out is to find out which submarine cable lands in specific country. So our next deployment is DR Congo and Ethiopia. If we focus, let me say, for Democratic Republic of Congo, we have a web page, submarine cable map, and there is an information in which city which cable lands. So in Moanda or Point Noir, I don't know exactly now which one is in Democratic Republic of Congo, but in this city, then we need to find a landing station, and who managed this landing station. Mostly it's government managed those landing stations, because this is government authority. And from that point, we start to negotiate how can we connect to this landing station. And when we have everything confirmed, after that, we need to find out how we will get this link from the landing station to our headend. Basically, our head end is our data center when all our core equipment is installed, core routers, core switches, servers, TV head end equipment like, I don't know, transcoders, restreamers and stuff like this. So the first thing is to know how we will get the pipe to the outside world.
Okay. That answered also the question from D, who's asking what's involved in starting services in a new country. Huh? These are logical questions because
Yes, of course. I mean, those things takes, for example, to get everything done just for one country, for one landing station, it took about 2 months to have solid information, to have confirmations where we can connect, where is our demarcation point in specific landing station, and after that there comes also a details, which type of cable, which type of connector, which type of protocol we will use, so that we can prepare correct equipment, because some landing station are using, I don't know, STM connection types, some other are using Ethernet, and yeah, we can talk about this for next few hours, but I will try not to go in really low level details.
okay, if anybody wants to know, of course, they will ask. But I'm asking questions as a woman, as someone who likes to know more. And my question, of course, is how do you then, out of this, get, let's say, TV channels?
Okay, this question is really, let me say, we need to be careful about this, because we need to divide technical part from the licensing part.
Okay.
From the technical part, we can get the TV channels after the licensing and broadcasting rights are done. So we need to sign, first of all, our management, our board team needs to sign broadcast rights for the TV channels. And when this is done, we get requirements how those TV channels needs to be protected for the rebroadcasting, let me say, so that we can rebroadcast those TV channels to the end customers, because those contents are not allowed to be free to air. And we deployed for that case wide wine conditional access security, so that unauthorized access to the TV channels is not possible. But okay, if we go to the technical part, we receive then the TV channels from providers, either via satellite. So then we need to use a dish and a satellite receiver. Then the provider gives us a card for the descrambling the TV channels, so we can rebroadcast them. And then those TV channels are transcoded to the codec we are using now, H.265 codec, which is really good, because we are keeping the bandwidth in the backend really low. And on the other side, if we don't receive TV channels from the satellite, we are receiving it via IP. So the providers gave us a special IP address, username and password, and via access list we are then allowed to get the TV channels into our system.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
There are so many new words used in your explanations. I will write down a vocabulary, of it. You hadn't was mentioned before, and you explained it a little bit, but then you were talking about transcoders, right?
Yes.
I would really like some additional explanation, also base stations and stuff like that. Could you tell us more about that, just to understand?
Of course. I will try to be as least technical as possible.
Okay.
So I was mentioned head end. So this is basically our data center. Our core infrastructure is there installed, as already mentioned, like core routers, core switching, servers in failover installation. This means that we don't install only one server, we install at least 3. They are all running OpenStack, and on top of that, we install virtual servers. And those virtual servers are meant for different scenarios. We have TMS installed there, like telecom management system. We have DHCP, DNS, network monitoring, and everything what is needed for one telecom to run. And as I already mentioned, there are transcoders installed. Those transcoders are transcoding input TV streams, because you need to know that the TV streams that are coming from the satellite and on the other side, TV streams that are coming via optical cable, they're not the same. And with these transcoders, we are transcoding the TV channels, that the output TV channel is always the same. So from different outputs, we get one output which is good for us, which is stable, and we can manage this. After the TV channel gets out of the transcoder, it gets caught by CAS, by conditional access server, and this conditional access server puts security on this TV channel. So if you are not, let me say, K3 customer, you're not able to watch this channel. Even if you have access to the channel, it is scrambled. So basically, this is it. And you said also, you mentioned the base stations. Yes, the base stations are basically the micro POPs, micro point of presence. This means that when we do the radio planning, we define where we will install our base stations, because everybody knows that the last mile solution from K3 is wireless solution, and it needs to be done by radio planning. So we need to, before we go on field, on site, let me say in Kinshasa, we are sticking our heads with our team and try to find best possible points where to install our equipment, so that we can cover with base station the most area that we can. So this is it. And then there is another thing, which is interconnection between base stations and head end. This is called backhauling. And yeah, another one. Another one.
Okay.
Yes, and we prefer to have this on fiber channel, on fiber optics. But in most cases in Africa, when there is no infrastructure, this is not possible. That's why we are using the radio frequency links, point to point, which are mostly installed in paid frequency. So then we have a link, and this is then the core infrastructure from the telecom, from the, let me say, upstream provider, which represents our window to the world. It is just like you're sitting at home and your internet provider is company A, that also each telecom has its own internet provider, not one, but at least two, because we need to be multi-homed. That means if one cable is down, if one router is down, if whatever is down, we need to be able to be online, so that the customers are not suffering service outage.
Mm-hmm. And there are many challenges that we cannot imagine building infrastructure or starting something in, let's say, in the area of Africa. It's really different from if you're doing it in Europe, probably.
No, I would not say it's very different in case of technology, because also in Europe we are using DOCSIS technology. As we are in Europe, we are also using GPON optics. We are using whatever stuff, LTE, and this is mostly, let me say, okay, DOCSIS is not so much present in Africa, but we can find some pieces of GPON, some pieces of fiber optics. But the most important difference between Europe and Africa is time. As Sandi already mentioned, time is running different in Africa. And if you want to do something, if you need to get some information in Europe, you will get this information like from today to tomorrow, and in Africa you're sending emails and then you're waiting, waiting.
And we are complaining in Europe that we don't get data or information, in a short time, but we do. We do actually. We should go a little to Africa just to have a feeling how it is there.
Yes, this is true. And for the first time that I was in Africa, this was a shock for me because I was expecting that everybody will be on time, that I will get informations that I need today. And then I said, okay, then you're not in Europe now, please
Switch.
switch. And but it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong, but because at the end everything is done, so you just need to be patient and you will get what you need.
Okay. This is good to know, when we get to Africa. Eventually it will happen.
Of course.
Then you mentioned radio planning in between.
Yes, I mentioned radio planning. This is basically the coverage that one base station can cover. On one base station, we have multiple multi-points installed. Each multi-point is basically an antenna, this transmission antenna, which can cover 90-degree sector. And most of the time, we are installing 2 or 3 sectors on one tower. We rather go with 2 towers than 1. Why? Because if we install more towers, more base stations than 1, then we can cover more customers. Someone will tell me, okay, I will buy only 1 sector. I will tell him, don't buy 2, because you have a people that are staying behind a higher building and they cannot see our first tower. But if we install another one, they can make a connection. So this is then the really difficult thing is radio planning, because on Google Earth, on other tools, everything looks great and everything looks perfect. And when you come to the city, when you see the situation with your own eyes, then you need to think fast and talk to the people, because again, to rent a tower, to have a clearance, to install your equipment on one tower, it's not easy to get, because there is again a question how much weight you will install on one tower, how much square feet one antenna is using, because of wind and everything. There can be not too much equipment installed on one tower, because of the wind, the tower can fall. And again, a lot of things that it was learned in last 20 years on this field. So if anyone has some question, just shoot. I can explain really in details, because when you touch one piece of this puzzle, you have bunch of questions, and when you touch one of these questions, you get another bunch of questions.
Yeah, I can just imagine. Look, Richard has a question. He's asking, can you tell us who the owners are of the landing stations and the cables?
Okay, the owners of the landing stations are mostly governments, but the owners of the cables are private companies. So, for example, the newest submarine cable that is being put in production, or it will be put in production, is I think from the Google. Just let me check how it's called. It's called Equiano, and this is privately owned by Google, and the rest of the cables. One is owned from Main One from Nigeria, for example. The rest are owned from Cogent, from Hurricane Electric, T-Sparkle Telecom. Those are all tier one worldwide telecom internet providers that we are connecting to them. And if you take, for example, one cable, I don't know, ACE, which lands almost in each west coast of Africa, then you find a shareholder that is okay with you, and you negotiate the price, the protocols and everything, then you can connect to the cable.
Okay. Now, Jules is asking, can Africa stand on its own without ever relying on submarine cables?
I think no. I think no. It's not the question only for Africa. Those submarine cables, if you guys will take a look of the submarine cable map, just Google it, you will see that the whole world is interconnected with those submarine cables, even from Europe to United States, from Europe to South America, to Indonesia, to each part of the world, it's interconnected with submarine cables. And before that, there was, what can I say, some VSAT links via satellite, but those links are unusable for telecom because they have a very, very big latency, and also those links are really, really expensive. And with submarine cables, the capacity of the links is getting cheaper and cheaper. And although you need to know that, for example, 10 gig of capacity in Sierra Leone costs, I don't know, about $60,000-$70,000 per month. And this is really not cheap, and that's why you will not find in Africa packages like we have in Europe. For example, at my home, I have package on internet 600/100 megabits per second. I mean, because of the price of the uplink and the infrastructure, electricity and everything in Africa, it can be done, but it's not cheap.
Okay.
The most important thing is that we go to Africa and introduce the broadband internet, which is not so widely spread because most of the people are using LTE connections and paying per gigabyte. When it's no more gigabytes left, they're paying again. And we are introducing the broadband internet, the flat rate, and this is really people are really happy for that.
Yeah, I can imagine. We are also here today to talk about an update of Ethiopia and DR Congo, and this is also Richard's question. Can you give us an update on the project planning for both of them?
Yes, I can give you an update. There is a project file with over 250 tasks to be done for each country.
To-do list.
To do. Yes, it's a to-do list, and this to-do list is really huge. But at this point, we are doing technical due diligence, and based on our radio planning and everything, we are now getting the correct micro locations where we will install equipment. We are getting contracts for uplink providers for setting up head-end space, for setting up tower locations, because there is not just to install equipment on the tower, we also need a facility beneath the tower. This means that we need one system rack, 24 units high, 42 units high, with UPS, with diesel generators, because electricity is not so stable. That's why we need our own power source. And those tasks needs to be done before we go to ordering equipment and everything. But initially, each equipment is already defined, what it will be ordered, what it will be installed. We are now just setting those micro locations where it will be installed.
Is it possible to talk about timing?
Timing is We know about situation, what is happening in last 2 years in not just in Europe but in the whole world. There is a really huge pushback getting equipment, and that's why we were planning this months ago and reserving some equipment because the estimated delivery dates uh, are were last year were those dates like I don't know 2 months, and now we are at 360 days. So we are talking about enterprise network equipment, enterprise switches, enterprise routers, and those things are really difficult to get. And yes, but
Yeah,
no worries, we will get it on time.
I'm sure this is just prolonging the situation, but yes, I can
Yeah,
imagine.
yeah.
Sandy, hey.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. You're doing a great job, really. But I do have a question. So yeah, one is actually you're talking about the problem with the supply chain, right? So that's an issue about getting the equipment. But I did want to jump in and in regards to the timeline. I think you are planning right now into going to Ethiopia and DRC. Is that correct?
Yes, this is correct.
Okay, so this is coming up in the next few days, I think, right?
Mhm.
Okay, what you need to do is you need to send us some pictures or some videos from Ethiopia and DRC when you're there.
For sure, we will do it.
Cool.
Yeah, that's great because this is always interesting. Guys, I would just like to ask you, how technical is that for you? Because there are so many technical questions earlier on. So yeah, this is really, really deep into the
I really
situation.
liked it. I like the technical, needy details. But what else I wanted to ask you? You were talking about radio planning. What is actually radio planning? How does it look like? When you're there, what you're actually doing?
Okay, the first thing that we do is, as I already said, we do the dry radio planning, and we are using tools like Google Earth and similar. And then we go on site, and when we are on site, then we really see if this is what it was planned on the Google Earth. And what needs to be done then is, let me say, testing. So when we decide, okay, we will install equipment on this tower, we install it, and we need to do drive tests. This means that when the planning is done, when the equipment is installed, we go into a car and really go on the field and drive to find the edges of where the signal is really good, so that we know which area is then covered. And this is then prior connecting customers to our system.
Okay.
So yes, and as I already said, this special radio planning software and stuff like this helps us a lot. But then what you see on the field most of the time is the same, so that we planned in software. Most of the time, everything is then the same on the field.
Okay. Could you maybe tell us a bit, what the major tasks are that you need to do? You said there is a list of 250 tasks. Can you point a few big ones out and how they go? You said first is, there was a lot of done already with planning and everything. Now you're gonna go on site, see everything. Then you need to order the equipment. When you're on site, all the equipment that you need, and this gets ordered. Then this is gonna be delivered. What's in between? There's gonna be a team on ground. You probably need to train those. Then you need to set it up. Just give us a few of these big tasks up until you can connect the first clients.
Okay, so the first, I will go from the technical part because there are a lot of tasks that the management needs to do. But from the technical part, so we need to know, first of all, where to connect to our upstream provider, so where is landing station, how to connect to this landing station. Then we need to define a place for head end where our core equipment will be installed. Then we need local office where local people will be working. Then we need to take care where we will install our base stations, so micro locations of towers. Then, as you already mentioned, equipment needs to be ordered. Equipment is pre-installed and pre-configured in Europe. Our team will arrive to do on-site, and we need to train technicians and employees how to install the equipment, how to correct the troubleshooting. So everything needs to be not everything, but everyone needs to be trained to be able to solve most of the first and second level issues by their own. And so training is really important. Then the next really important thing before we start to connect customers, of course, is marketing. And what should I say? Those are milestones that needs to be done. Yes.
So you're running the majority of this with the local team, so with local people, right? So you'll be giving also employment to the local people.
Yes, this is true.
So,
this is true.
Is there any specific way how you look for those employees, or how you do it? Is there also some place, if maybe somebody watching us right now from DRC or Ethiopia or something like that can apply for a job or something like that?
I believe yes. I'm not sure if this is already established, but for sure it will be in the future when we are so far that we will start hiring local employees, and we will do training on our telecom platform. We will do on-site local training because everything cannot be depends on us. We need local people that we depend on them, that everything will be installed as it should be, and also they will depend on us, that we will help them in case of some bigger issues, bigger problems. So within next 1-2 months, it will be ready, that we will give the people the opportunity that they will apply for the job, and they can send, or they will send also their CVs, so we can review them, and after that we will do the job interviews, and we will decide about our new co-workers. But yes, I need to point out that the local team is really important to us.
So how many how many jobs you think this will create in the next let's say year or two there?
Phew. You want me to predict? I hope a lot, because the plans are that we will connect a lot of people in short time, and I believe that somewhere in between 50 and 130, if you're asking me, in the next year and a half.
Wow.
That's cool. That's really nice. Okay, so I have one more questions, then I'll give it over to Anita again. So you were talking before about TV, but nothing has been said about internet. Can you also tell us a bit how we get the internet from let's say the undersea cables and the end points, end stations there, to then to the end user? Just that we don't talk only about TV, because our main product is actually internet, broadband internet.
Of course, no problem. I already mentioned those submarine cables and landing stations and upstream providers like Hurricane Electric, Cogent, T-Sparkle, Main One, and there is a lot of them, of course. So we decide with which upstream provider we will peer. We need, as I said, 2 of them because each telecom needs to be multi-homed. So if for some reason our upstream provider is down, we are still connected to the second one. Then the internet link comes into our headend, into our edge routers. There must be at least 2 of them, again, for failover. We are doing BGP protocol for failover upstream connections. And after that, the Ethernet connection goes from the headend to the base stations via backhaul links that were mentioned before. And then there is one special router installed in each base station, which is called CMTS router. And this thing, basically, it's a gateway between 2 worlds. And one world is Ethernet world, and the second world is frequency world. Because our last mile solution is based on CMTS, which can be run wirelessly. So the end user equipment, it's nothing else than ordinary cable modem. So this cable modem can understand CMTS signaling, and from this CMTS router, the packages are transformed from Ethernet to the radio frequency, and then at the end customer side, again, they are transformed back from the radio frequency to the Ethernet. So the end customer will see that at the cable modem, on the input, there is coax cable that will be installed. And on the output, they will have, for example, 4 ordinary LAN ports where STB will be installed, where they can connect their own routers, computers, and all other network equipment. So this is basically it. But in everything in between, it's managed by the TMS, and this telecom management system is then, as my colleagues already mentioned in the previous AMAs, it's for management, those people for management, IP addresses for management, uptime, and everything what needs to be managed in such telecom like this.
Okay, I just came up with another question.
Go ahead.
But I promise this will be the last one.
Okay, it's great.
So you have quite vast experience already with telecoms in Africa. What I wanted to ask you, how do you think this will be different now in Ethiopia and DRC, and where do you see the main challenges? What do you think are going to be the toughest things to solve?
The toughest things to solve. Okay, Ethiopia maybe will not. I don't see that it will be so much challenging, but for example, I see Kinshasa will be more challenging, and I will tell you why. We have a landing station in the coastline, but Kinshasa lies about 400 kilometers inside the mainland. And there are optical connections from the landing station to Kinshasa. And at my informations, those cables are in failover, those cables are reliable, and we need to focus to find upstream providers directly in Kinshasa. And I think this will be the most challenging thing. Beside that, for example, Ethiopia's capital has a lot of hills around it, and this is also challenging for radio planning. And this is always challenging, how to do radio planning so that you are covering at most possible customers from the beginning. So if you have a flatland, there are almost no challenges about radio planning. But if you have a lot of hills, like for example Sierra Leone, Freetown, it's really hilly, and there are a lot of hills, and those are challenges.
Okay, Sandi, he's good, right? He knows everything.
Oh, he is.
No,
He is.
I don't know everything, but this is one thing that I believe that no one knows everything, but in these scenarios and in this part of my job, I believe that I know a lot.
You sure
Yeah,
do?
for sure you do. For sure you
Yeah.
do.
So if anyone has any question, just shoot.
Okay. I would just like to know, Dan, where did you get the knowledge? How does one become Dan Skok?
Everybody can become Dejan Skok. This is not a problem. You just need to have uh, this wish, this drive to know things, to learn things, because each day I also learn something new. I own a lot of certifications, a lot of everything, but this is not important if you're not working with the equipment, if you're not finding something new, if you are not in uh, you know what I want to say. You need to
You
have
gotta
this
be
Knowledge.
drive.
curious,
Yeah.
curious, and open to new information,
Yes,
and
yes,
also be ready to admit that you're sometimes wrong. Yeah, and as you said, that you
of
don't
course.
know everything. Once you think you know everything, then it's game over. Then
No, no, no. I believe that I will die very sadly because I already now know that I will not know everything
And get all the answers.
and get all the answers. This is not possible.
it's
But
like a curse.
yeah,
Dan, can you learn a lot from the locals?
yes, you can learn a lot of the locals, and one really important thing that you can learn from the locals is mindset. Because if you want to push them something from Europe, uh, this is not good. You need to listen to them. You need to listen to their needs, and from that perspective, you can learn a lot of them. Because also, if you're not talking about now from telecom, from technical parts of everything, but if you're talking only about life, uh, uh, I want to be as happy as they are, because I find people in Africa very happy.
Wow.
And maybe we need to learn from them how to be happy.
Oh, this is good.
Yeah.
Getting the knowledge. Because we
And
are constantly complaining.
I had this experience wherever I was, that people didn't have everything. They kind of struggled a bit with everyday things. But they had a different mindset. There was I remember it so really. I was in Sri Lanka, driving around on these tuk-tuks, and was talking to the driver, and he was like, when I make enough money for my daily meal, then I'm free. Because I asked him how many hours he works, and he said it depends. When I make it for my food, then I'm done with work. And it's like this. It's still day by day, and they can accept this. I don't think that we in Europe can actually accept it. That it's always, if you don't have for a year on the side something like that to live, then you're under stress, right? What's going to be tomorrow, and so on. So they're not really bothered what's going to be tomorrow. They're living today, in this time, and I think that makes you happier. Yeah, happier than always thinking about what's going to be tomorrow, because you never can know what's going to be tomorrow, and we tend to be a bit more pessimistic than optimistic, I think.
Yes, yes, this is true, because we all, or not all, but most of the people in Europe, we have long-term commitments. We have, I don't know, financial commitments to the banks and everything. And you need to be sure what will happen next year, what will happen, I don't know, next month, just like you said. And this is not in Africa, and they are not bothering, as you said, what will be tomorrow, what will be next month. No, they're just living the day, carpe diem.
Mm. We have different perceptions of
Yes,
happiness. I think that is because for some people, happiness is just being alive and getting through the day, and for some is to have, I don't know, the best car, or being financially grounded or something. So this is a difference, yeah. And
That's
it's nice.
never happiness. That's never
Never
happiness.
happiness, right?
No, 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 no.
Yeah.
No.
It can help you maybe become happier, but it doesn't, that's not happiness for sure. And usually it's a burden, to be honest. I've seen a lot of people that have a lot, and they're just depressed, and they're just,
Yeah.
striving to get more and more and more, and that's for sure not the road to happiness.
This is true. And I will advise the people go to Africa, be there, but not in some touristic resorts with 5, 6, 7, 8 stars and stuff like this. Go there, be in the city like Freetown, Monrovia, Kinshasa, Addis Ababa. Be there with the people, and you will feel the vibe that it's really, really different. And I started to look at the world from different perspective when I got home. So this is something changed, something in me, and I see the world different now. And as you already said, you can have billions and millions, and I don't know how much cars, but for sure you're not happy.
I will take your advice, then I will go to these parts of Africa when I'm there.
I will send you pictures.
Yes, do. And someone just wrote down that he's looking forward, Richard, that he's really looking forward for you to share pictures. And then we will, of course, share that on Telegram and Discord. Yeah, yeah.
We will do it.
Richard is also asking what parts of DRC and Ethiopia will be the first focus and how many towers approximately will be placed, if you could answer that.
Okay, no problem. The first installations in Democratic Republic of Congo will be in Kinshasa. We are planning 3 towers to be installed with altogether, I believe, 6 sectors. So each tower will have 2 sectors installed. And the Ethiopia, we will focus also on the capital, Addis Ababa, and the same, we will install 3 towers with 6 sectors. So those are the first cities that will be installed, and after that, we will spread around the countries.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Now,
welcome.
we went from technical to a little soul, relying things, and then we went back to technical, but this was really a nice conversation. I would really like to thank you, Dan, for being with us, and also for satisfying those who are really technically strong and have really good questions. And of course, educating us, others who don't know so much about it. You're doing a great job. Please continue that.
Thank
And
you.
please do send pictures, videos, report from wherever you are in Africa, because this is really something that we can learn from.
I will. I promise.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you, Dan. It was really nice having you here, and yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan. And I hope we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Wow, that was great. Sandy,
It
we're
was. It was. It was
an
a
hour is
really.
over like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Amazing. You did promise something. Will you give us a little more
Yeah.
information about?
I was chatting a bit. So we have everything on the live server. We are still testing a few things, and we're adding some NFTs. But it looks everything. It looks really everything works now, and but it's not on the app domain. So I would say we need half an hour more or something like that. We're just adding really the NFTs, and then it's going to be live. It's going to be on app.3er.io. So we're now we're discarding the pre-sell.3er.io where you bought the tokens and you held them up until now. So this is right now not operational. It doesn't show you the tokens and so on. So we moved everything to app.3er.io. We needed to change some things just to really be able to put it later on chain. And yeah, this is going to be now the final Apple app, and we're just going to build upon this and adding new stuff into it. So this is going to be the app that you'll be working with the whole 3-year time.
Thank you for the update. And this is the closing of this AMA. Of course, we would like to invite you to be with us on our channels, on Discord, on Twitter, on Telegram. and follow us here. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are here every Wednesday at 5 o'clock p.m.
Yeah.
Central European time, and we are happy to have you here. So yeah, thank you. And we
So,
are also on
well,
social networks. So yeah.
absolutely. So just for the next three AMAs, next week probably everything's gonna be fine. It's gonna be at 5 p.m. Central European time. I will be somewhere on the move from Dubai to Slovenia, so I'll be meeting you really soon. Um, but hopefully I'll be there at 5. I do think I'll have internet somewhere at 5. And then the next week we'll need to change a bit the time, right?
Yeah.
Anita,
Little
you have
earlier, perhaps.
yeah, probably we'll do it like 2 hours, 3 hours earlier.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll announce it pretty soon, how we are moving it. And then on the 29th, that's gonna be, I think, like a really special one. We'll have a really cool guest, a really high level guest from the blockchain scene. So you don't want to miss that one on the 29th.
Yes. Thank you for the update, and thank you for being with us. Dan was a great guest. I really enjoyed it. And thank you, Sandi, for giving up this last informations. Now, let's go and have a beautiful day. Okay, everybody. Or a
Yes.
beautiful evening, whatever.
Yeah, it's dark here, so for us it's already night.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye bye.